What an interesting past couple of days it's been. I had 3 teeth extracted. I was given some hydrocodone, and that was rough. Surprisingly, it went well. It went relatively easy. I didn't wake up feeling sore or anything like I normally do. I mean, there's a small ache, but compared to the last time I had teeth extracted, this was night and day. Either they weren't that badly broken, compacted, or whatever in my mouth, or the other dentist, I don't know. Couldn't tell you why. I have no idea. I could speculate all day, but suffice it to say, this one just went so much better. My employer wanted me to come in. I was like, well, I'm taking hydrocodone. They're like, well, we're already short 2 people, so we really need you tonight. So you understand it's illegal for me to drive on that stuff, right? So they got a little bit out of shape. But, what can you do? Yeah, this company is something else, man. They figured out all these loopholes that allow you as a company to really mess with your employees. Now, I know that there are plenty of other jobs out there that are worse, especially overseas in the Middle East, things like that. I get that. I know that compared to a lot of people, I should be grateful to have work, and I am. I still don't think that means that you can't have issues with your employer. That being said, my employers figured out how to not pay us by the mile because we don't go that far. We wouldn't make any money. They'd never have anybody. So they pay us by the hour. However, because there's a small little stretch of road that we have to travel on, potentially every night, depending on how things work out, they get by without paying us overtime because some magical loophole about us traveling over the road. Yeah, we work 12-hour shifts or 11-hour shifts. No overtime. We get a couple of holidays that are paid for, which is nice. We don't get any sick time. We get 1 personal day. And we get a week's vacation. Now, a week's vacation is fine for the 40-hour work week people that are out there. However, I do not work 40 hours a week. I work 44, sometimes 55 hours a week. So if I'm taking a week vacation, my check comes up short by 4 hours. Now, I know that that's not a whole lot. It's not going to make or break the bank, but it feels principle. If you're going to give somebody a week's vacation, it should be a week that they would normally work the vacation, right? That just makes sense. If you work 40 hours a week, you get a 40-hour week vacation. If you work 55 hours a week, paid by the hour, mind you, then you should be able to get a 55-hour vacation. But maybe I'm just being too bleeding hard about it. Maybe I'm too optimistic, and that's just not the reality of the world, obviously, because the world I live in, that doesn't happen. The benefits are through the roof expensive, but either which way, they're too expensive for me to afford, so it doesn't really matter whether or not it's my company or the government. Whether it's my company or the government, I can't afford it either way. So, I don't know what to do with that. I haven't had insurance for a long time. I have dental insurance, which is, I'm so grateful for this go around. Normally, it's like a $1,500 bill, and then you have insurance. Like, okay, $1,300. But this time around, I think it was about $1,600 was $400. And I was just blown away. Like, okay, all right, we can do that. So, you know, I'm grateful that I finally had insurance that worked out for me this time. In the past, I was not so lucky. Oh, it feels weird missing these teeth. I can't chew like I used to, even though one of them was cracked completely and wasn't really chewable, and my molar was damaged, so I couldn't chew on it because it was exposed. The nerve was kind of exposed, so anytime I chewed back there, it hurt. And then the last tooth that I'm like jumping back and forth. I had 2 teeth up front pulled and my molar in the back pulled. The molar was kind of done for. Couldn't really chew on it anyway. One of the teeth up front was basically just the outer shell of a tooth. The inside was completely gone, and then the one right next to it was breaking apart, but it still had a bottom surface that I could chew with, and that was the last chewing surface that I had in my brain. You know, I was like, that's all I can chew on. What do I do? Oh, yawning. So now I have all kinds of weird shaped holes in my mouth. I don't know. I can chew up front like a rabbit or a beaver or something, so I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do forever until I can afford, I don't know, dentures or veneers or something. So, anyway, I'm glad that I got that. I'm glad that I have a job. Even if the benefits aren't all that great. They have this thing they've been doing for a year now, roughly, I guess. Got rolled out about this time last year or so, where we can't idle the trucks anymore. They don't want us to be sitting with the trucks on. If we have to move, then that's fine. Obviously, you have to have the truck running to move. But if we're stopped for any length of time, they want us to turn the truck off. Doesn't matter if it's 27 degrees or 92 degrees, you just got to have the windows down or the windows up and hope for the best. They do not care about you. I mean, I already knew that they didn't care about us as employees, that we were just numbers to them. But when they rolled out this no idle nonsense, that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. It really kind of solidified that they just don't care. You know, they say that it's about the maintenance cost because the contract that we're working supplies the fuel. So it's certainly not about the fuel cost, but they say that having the trucks run all the time drives up the maintenance cost. Okay, maybe, but that should be in your bill. That should be in your budget when you bid for a company to do their jobs. Like, it's going to cost this much in labor. It'll be this much for repairs. It'll be this much. Like, that should be all figured in. And if it's not, you need to renegotiate it. I don't understand why you would treat your employees like they don't matter, like they should just suffer. I don't get it. I brought this up, made a big stink about it about a month or so after they rolled it out, and our regional called a safety meeting, quote unquote, and on that meeting he was basically like, you know, this is what the policy is now, so if you don't like it, maybe you need to make some difficult decisions. And that was basically his way of saying, if you don't like it, you can quit. And sure, I guess that's one way to look at it. If you don't like how we're running a company, go get another job somewhere. Okay, I agree, that should be the methodology, right? But I don't understand why you wouldn't want to make your company better, why you wouldn't want to make it more desirable to have people come. We already have a hard time getting employees, so if all of us quit that didn't like this no idle thing, they'd be fired from the site because they can't get enough people. We're always at least 2 drivers short. So you want to make it harder for us, for you to hire people? Well, yeah, you come out here and make such and such, but you can't run the truck unless you're moving. Unless you have to move the truck, is the only time the truck can be on. It's asinine. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't normally Google jobs before I hire on. I was over the road truck driver. I wanted to come inside, so my son was about to be born. And so I just accepted the job. And they have lawsuits that they were able to weasel out of because these people wanted to be paid their fair wage of overtime. They wanted to be paid for holidays, sick time. They wanted just a regular, fair working environment. And because they've been shady so long, they've figured out how to get by. You know, you drive on the road X amount of time, you don't have to pay overtime. Because you don't travel as far, we don't have to pay you by the mile. As long as you don't work X amount of hours, we don't have to pay you overtime. We don't have to offer proper benefits. They're just all these loopholes that they've meticulously ironed out. You know, we had to sign our IRS W-2 a certain way. If we wrote that we were a truck driver or something, we'd have to pay, or they'd have to pay us properly. But because we wrote, or if we wrote that we were a shuttle, or well, I don't know. If we wrote one, they'd have to pay us the overtime and whatnot. But because we wrote we were a truck driver, they got by with that loophole. And they coach you this when you're signing up, like when you're doing your hire-on paperwork. They don't just give you paperwork to fill out. They talk you through it step by step. This is how you fill this out. This is what you're supposed to write here. Make sure you don't write this here. So, you know, I didn't think anything of it. I guess that should have been a big red flag there in the beginning. But yeah, I didn't know any better. I was excited to be home with my son, to be born. It was buyer beware, basically. So I don't know, this has turned into a rant video, I guess, but it's been on my mind ever since they were harassing me about not coming in to work on illegal drugs. I'm like, you guys are something else. And it brought back everything else that they had kind of been doing over the past. Yeah, I'm wondering if my boss is gonna try and write me up because I didn't come in, even though it was illegal for me to come in on the medicine that they were prescribing me. But I got to spend time with my family on a positive note, and we were watching some more of The Repair Shop, and we watched the British baking show, which is just awful to watch when you can't chew anything or eat anything, and all you're seeing is breads and cakes and cookies, or biscuits as they call them. Oh man, that was torture. And I was doing it to myself. I wanted to watch the show. It just was making me so hungry. Yeah, the dentist didn't say I couldn't eat anything. I just have to watch what I eat, and because the holes are kind of staggered in my mouth funny, it's more difficult than just trying to avoid one area. I have to avoid two areas, but they're diagonal. So anyway, my girl was super awesome, and she bought me some soups, and she bought like muffins and mug cakes and like chocolate chips, because I was telling her that I was watching the baking show, and I was, you know, craving all the stuff that I can't have. So she took pity on me, or, you know, was just trying to be fun, and bought a whole bunch of deliciousness, bought some ice cream. So we had a good time. I work tonight, and then I'm off for 2 nights, and then I'm back for 5 nights. I'm hoping slowly but surely I'll be able to, these holes will heal up completely, and I'll be able to get a normal chewing, eating pattern down. Figure out what my new normal is anyway. On my new channel, I put out a new video, a deep dive on building portable showers for like truck drivers and firefighters. I was trying to use music from a band, but somehow the audio didn't transfer over right. So the intro is very quiet, and then you hear me bust through like the Kool-Aid Man, and then, you know, it's just quiet. So disheartening. I'm gonna rework it and re-upload it because I feel bad. I wanted to put his music out there, and I did a bad job. So maybe by the time this goes up, no, I'll probably put this up tonight, so it'll be up before I fix the other video. Never mind. With Christmas right around the corner, hopefully everybody's got their Christmas shopping done or about done. I still have a few things I need to tie up for my parents, but other than that, I got my girl taken care of and the kids are done, courtesy of my girl. She's better at that than I am. I have ideas, I give her some suggestions, but ultimately I try and leave it up to her. I feel like she would know better than I would. I don't know. We're still figuring this working as a team thing out in some areas. We'll probably always be working at it. I think that's what a relationship is, always working to be better with each other, to be better in the relationship. But maybe not. Maybe that's just me and my struggle. I really want to get a woodworking set where I can like have a wood turner and try and chisel things out and make wooden things. Kind of back to that whole family heirloom on my other video that I was talking about. I'd like to be able to do woodworking. Ooh, sorry. My dad got me a wood burning kit, and so I've thought about dabbling with that a little bit. But the idea of being able to wheedle, I don't know if that's what you do with wood, but to make something out of just a block of wood just sounds really cool to me. But those things are expensive. The other thing that I thought about, if I'm not good at writing. I can't draw for anything, so I don't know how I thought I'd be good at wood burning, but I want to give it a shot anyway. And if I'm not any good at it, there's a wood burning machine, like a 3D printer type thing. And I thought about getting that so that I can have what I want actually realized. But those things are expensive just for a hobby. So I might try and do a deep dive on that machine, and if there's any way to really make money off of it, and about how much you'd have to charge. The machine's called a Glow Forge. They're pretty pricey. I did a quick Google search. It seemed like there was a lot of other options out there instead of just the Glow Forge. So, who knows? Maybe I can find something cheaper or better or comparable but cheaper, some knockoff product. I wish I was smart enough to make my own. Another thing I'm going to try and do is see if I can't get that band's music downloaded so that way I can just put it underneath these. Instead of the lo-fi beats, maybe I'll just put the rock beats or mix it up. Sometimes I'll have the rock beats and sometimes I'll have the lo-fi beat. I don't know. My brain's been a lot more calm. I think that's because of the hydrocodone, but I haven't been as scatterbrained. It's my first night going back to work without... Well, my first night going back to work, I do not have the hydrocodone. I have a headache, so I have some ibuprofen. I'm hoping that I can make it through the night. We read online that part of withdrawals could be nausea, headache, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. I'm like, man, you could just have all kinds of fun depending on how addicted to something or whatever you are. I've been talking about and thinking about how I need to quit drinking so much soda. Because I'd cut it out of my diet for a couple months and lost a good amount of weight. And then I had a mixed drink and it just kind of skyrocketed from there. Picked it right back up. So I was like, man, I really need to figure out how to stop. And then I can't have fizzy drinks. And I couldn't drink or eat anything before the surgery. And so it was like the perfect storm to make me not drink soda. So now I have soda at the house, just sitting there calling my name. I can't have it for like another day at least. But I also don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want to go through it again. It's so hard to kick it It's such a weird addiction that I have. You know, I'm not an alcoholic or a pill head or anything crazy like that, but soda definitely has a hold on me. I assume it's the sugar. It could be the caffeine or a little bit of both. I don't know, but it definitely has a hold on me, and that could be part of my headache too, because I haven't had caffeine or sugar in that much quantity in a couple of days, so my body might be reacting poorly to that. I have no idea. I got to rethink my diet also in general, because I can't have the almonds and that I used to. I could probably eat the walnuts and chicken and rice and stuff. That'll probably be fine once the holes have closed up. But I won't be able to do almonds. I saw that there are almond slices. My girl puts them in her salad and stuff, so I might buy the slices. I don't know if it'll be cost effective. I might have to buy the raw almonds like I have been and slice them myself or crush them or something. I don't know. But I like the almonds and the walnuts. They're good for you. They're good brain food. They got omega-3s and all kinds of other good for you stuff. So I'm a big fan. I want to keep eating them if I can. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I drop rhymes all the time. Anyway. I hate that this thing keeps getting so foggy. It's like I want to talk and have a good view, and then with the heat going and everything, it just becomes too hot in here for me. But that's the only way the camera looks clear, so damned if I do, damned if I don't, it would seem. Well, let me know if you guys have any last minute Christmas stuff going on, or whatever holidays you celebrate, what you have going on for that. I am not very worldly knowledgeable and stuff. I don't mean to offend you or be so nonchalant. I just don't really know everybody else's traditions. I was raised with Christmas, so that's really kind of all I know about. I didn't take the time, and even now as an adult, I haven't taken the time to learn about other things, so that's definitely my fault. I can't do anything about it right now as I'm recording this video. So let me know in the comments down below how your shopping is going, or how it went, if your holidays are kind of already done, or yeah, let's talk about it. Let's normalize it. I don't understand why different religions can't talk and share stories and ideas. And if it's all from love, it's all about connection and family and stuff, then I don't see the issue. You can't talk about love and be like, mine's better than yours, like my religion's better than your religion, or my belief is better than your belief, or whatever. So, if you're talking about it from joy and from happiness and from love, I think everybody can have a good conversation down below, and let me know how it's going for you. I don't really have a whole lot left. My headache is kind of creeping in and making it hard for me to really think. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. Let YouTube know that this is a video and a channel to pay attention to. If you want more, I post videos pretty much every day or every other day as long as I'm working. It's my trip home and my trip to work. So click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you'll see when I post. I'm definitely better at posting on this than I am the other channel. It takes a little bit more out of me. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you on the ride home.